Welcome back to Everybody Loves My Mother. Today we are talking about really one of the most asked for topics, beauty prevent.
Someone said it was too late for me.
Well, that's mean.
It was a doctor.
Might have a point.
What do they know, Serena? What do they know?
What do they know?
I have not had a facelift. I mean, obviously, guys, don't you worry. We're going to go into Botox and the real juicy bit. If it hurts, it works. We're not going to talk about vibrators on this episode.
Count me out of that one. But listen, you, Alice, are turning 40. I was there at the time.
I'm
It's
turning
true.
40.
You're turning 40. And so we are going to work through aging and beauty.
Yeah.
I've aged more than you because how old am I turning?
Nearly 70.
I'm not turning nearly 70. I'm not turning 70 for 3.5, like a million years.
Yeah, but you're kind of closer to 70 to 60.
Well, I'm closer to 100.
True. It's another
It's
good
true.
point.
Okay, anyway, so unsurprisingly, this podcast is on beauty.
Beauty.
And Alice is going to tell us all her tricks to look that fabulous.
But before
and I'll
that,
stay quiet.
I don't look fabulous, but before that, we're going to tell everyone what we're wearing.
Oh,
Don't forget
that
Mum.
bit.
You've
bit,
got
yeah.
the show notes.
Oh, the show notes. I've now got the show notes. What am I wearing? Well, no, you go. What are you wearing?
I always wear much less than you, so it takes me like a
I have to
second.
cover up more.
I only wear 2 items. I'm wearing a beloved Alessandra Rich dress that I own, and it comes out. It's just like an easy one. It's a christening. It's a don't know what to wear for dinner. It's a firm favourite, and I'm wearing a brilliant Manolo, very boring colour, kind of Mary Jane, suede. Sorry, suede brown Mary Jane.
I'd be dead if I wore those. Anyway, I am
Because
wearing.
you're wearing through blue Ewok.
I am wearing ME+EM, favourite brand, blue silk and cotton shirt. Hate the name blouse. What do you feel about that word blouse?
I don't really mind about words.
I definitely do.
Yeah, you
I
mind
do
about
in
a lot of
huge
things.
way. Anyway, I'm wearing a ME+EM blue blouse shirt. I'm wearing now this top. You're going to be
Mum,
surprised.
we are talking about beauty, so
I know. Well, where
you?
do you think it's from?
M&M.
No,
ZARA.
ZARA. And then I'm wearing grey flannel trousers by Sephon, sadly gone. And my shoes are Tory Burch, Mary Jane's, currently on sale. Well, they were on sale.
They're fabulous. You look fabulous, Mum. You're
Well, I
like,
don't.
we
I know
you
I'm
do.
going to
You're like
look
a-
at them.
you're
I'm
like
going to
a-
look at the film and think, why the hell was I wearing
You're
that?
like a
Anyway,
big Ewok blue icon.
perfect. Just what I wanted to be. So,
But we're going to talk about what we do, what we take, what helps our skin. But I will prefix this with the stress that one feels of how much we have to do. Because I feel that there are so many things out there. It's
It
like,
is-
are
yeah.
we doing collagen? Are we doing peels? Are we doing LED? What are we doing and what works?
well,
And the-
that's the thing is, Alice, because people say to me all the time, Alice, your skin is incredible. What does Alice do? Do people say that about me?
all the time.
Yeah, just wondered. And I'm saying to you, what do you do? But then I'm like, quite a few things.
Well, this is the problem.
So-
One almost needs to start giving up certain
Yeah.
things to see if they make a difference.
I've just given up fish oil because
You
I was
look better.
because I was worried it was giving me blotchy skin.
Okay, so
We
let's
spent
follow a
hours doing
plan
it.
here. So I'm going to very briefly say on a daily basis what I do.
Good.
I drink collagen. I was told to do that about 6 years ago by Elizabeth Saltzman, and the word collagen wasn't really out there. And she said it has to be liposomal. It makes a huge
Everything
difference.
has to be liposomal, it would seem.
And she's also, a tiny bit older than me, and she said, your generation have a chance to delay aging.
Too late for me.
Which was I do think that is key. Whether it works, again, who knows? I take collagen. Do you take collagen?
As with many things, erratically.
Erratically. You don't.
Well, I would give it another go, but I am, perhaps at the age where it's just a bit too late.
I don't think it's too late, Mum.
Okay.
So supplements wise, what are you doing?
I take so many that shake me and I rattle, but I knew I was on this podcast, but I can't really remember. I do take something with turmeric.
Yep.
I do take fish oil. I do take
Multivitamin?
No.
Well, Mum,
no.
that's really moronic.
No, I'm just trying to remember what they're called.
Do you take anything for the fact you've got really aging, mushy bones?
Alice, I don't think.
Yes, I do.
I don't think you should sort of start, calling your mother a moron.
But it is moronic. If you have you should take supplements. I don't
I
want
do
you to
take.
die.
I do take something for bone. I take a powder for bone density.
When you remember.
No. I take that all the
The
time.
word erratic. It's like your
No, I'm
school
erratic
reports.
with the collagen. But all these other things, I mean, we can put them in the show notes. But I'm very keen on that brand, Ancient and Brave, or Ancient Brave. I think that's very good.
I use Vida Glow, but I'm not trying to sell stuff here.
No,
I use Vida
and
Glow
what else do
collagen.
I take?
I think a multivitamin is great. I don't want to make this boring. I
Which
can
one
see
do you
my
take?
husband looking away like this is boring. But I
It's not
suppose
boring,
this
but I don't
isn't-
have much to add on this.
This isn't the male viewers. But I believe in a really good multivitamin. I take NAD.
I've taken Plus.
Yeah, take that,
Plus,
but I don't
NAD
inject
plus.
it because
No, I wouldn't.
it
Don't
gave me
have that.
migraines, I think. I take, again, turmeric.
Yes.
And I take CoQ10.
That's fish oil.
Yeah. But that's all I
Yeah.
take in the morning. And I actually also take Happy Mammoth, this powder.
I've taken
And that's
that.
really good for your gut.
And the other thing we both do is we...
Don't exercise.
No, we don't exercise.
That
we
is a
have just
common-
been... No, we don't. But we do drink a lot of
Water.
Hang on,
huge amount.
but why don't you say what you've actually done this last working weekend?
We've actually just come back from Frankfurt, and we are two people that our average step count, mine a day,
No, please don't say mine.
was
please.
17.
No,
Shush,
please.
don't talk over me. Mine per day average was 1,700. Daisy Cave didn't even believe me. She had to check my phone. Mum's is a whopping
No.
1,100
No, but I don't take my
steps.
phone everywhere with me.
Mum, you don't go out.
I
of the
do
house.
when it's
Mum,
not
but-
raining. I do.
Yeah, but we live in England. It rains all the time.
I know, but I do.
When did you last leave the house on a walk this year? Never.
I do ask my husband.
It doesn't
Anyway.
sound like she even leaves her room.
I do. Anyway, but
1,100
this,
steps.
but Alice,
This
how,
week we walked 30 kilometres
30.
in 3 days. So we are like, I thought I'd look like Giselle this morning. I'm not. But
my feet are puffy.
yeah, I think exercise might not be good for you.
I think it's not.
In all truth, though, we don't exercise. We probably should.
Definitely should.
We definitely should. But maybe
Definitely
another.
won't.
You won't. You though do. I think we talked about this. You do own every exercise outfit.
I do.
You've tried to exercise.
I'm going to get back on that power plate. I've got one of those at
They
home.
were good. You can do a plank off a power plate.
I know. I can
But
do
you
all
can
that.
save this for the exercise episode.
Yeah, well, we'll do an exercise episode. of
Okay,
what
so
we
back
not
to
do.
Alice.
Well, let's talk about gadgets then. We've talked.
Okay.
Oh, no, pre-gadgets. Sorry, let's talk about what we use without trying to sound like
Okay.
a saleswoman. I'll start, Mum, so you can copy me.
I
I'm not
won't
trying.
copy
Well,
you,
this
'cause
is
I'm
not
now
to
just
get-
trying to remember
This
what I
is
use.
not to get free products.
No. Is it not?
Nope.
Absolutely sure? 100%? I'm very interested in free products. Just send them my way, but I will only talk about them if I like them.
I have to say I am a Bada girl. I love
Yep.
Augustinus Bada. I just use the cream, not the Rich.
I
You
use
like-
the Rich cream.
Actually, sometimes my makeup artist gets very annoyed when I do this because it gives me double glow. But I use a hyaluronic acid from Sturm pre the Bada, and that's great. But that's better for like a no makeup day. I think that's also interesting. Is like I think there's serums and moisturizer you use when you are wearing makeup and when you're not. Do you
I
feel the same?
actually was thinking about this,
Good.
and I
Are you
think
doing
there
some
should be a
revision?
brand, perhaps there is one, that does a range of no makeup days, skincare.
Yeah.
A day that you could say, I'm at home, I'm not wearing makeup, I'm going to just pile it on, and I'm not having I'm having a blow dry.
Your
Let's say the
hair's a
next day.
problem. But like Skin Designs,
That Skin Design is my
That
favorite
balm is great
balm that I
for no
use at
makeup.
night, no makeup, and I use it at night. Yeah.
so cleanser, I actually use Dr. Jack cleanser. Then I use a hyaluronic. Then I use a Beta. But then on a non-makeup day, I use a lot of La Prairie, the caviar. That's embarrassing to say
Sure you
caviar,
do.
I know. But it's like a caviar intense. It's great. I know this is now not painting me in a good light. Maybe we can cut the caviar comment.
Nope.
And then at
night?
night, I cleanse again. And I use every other night the Abaji tretinoin,
Okay.
which you got me into. But
Yep.
before that, I do a light mask. But we'll talk about gadgets
Okay.
after. Any other? But what about you? But try and condense it to as short as I just did.
That wasn't that short.
Well, I could
Anyway,
tell you a lot more products I
cleansers. In the morning, I use something very gentle.
Just say what it is.
I use a cleansing oil. I think it's called DHC cleansing oil in the morning. Then I will put on a vitamin C serum. A brand dependent. It can be that. I can't remember the name of the brand, but anyway, brand dependent. And then the moisturizer. Now, Beta is top on my list. There's a brand
You
called...
like the rich?
I like something very rich.
Yeah, see, like I
Thick,
can't use
rich,
an oil like you.
absolutely love it. Then I will use, there's a brand called Suzanne Kaufman, K-A-U, very nice, Swiss, I think. It smells a bit
packaging.
Swiss smart, very simple, very simple. I really love that. I did use One Skin, and I used the
Never
whole
heard of
tub.
that.
I don't know, does it work? Do I look better? I don't know. Send me another one and I'll tell you. Then in the evening, I might use a stronger, the cleansing oil. Then there's that Jan Marini. She does a very good cleanser, glycolic cleanser or something. And then I am a tretinoin girl. I've tried a lot. I've tried prescription, and now I've gone back to Dermatica.
I also got your one from Mexico. Did that
Yes.
work?
Well,
You didn't
yes.
need a prescription for
I
it,
didn't
so I
need
was a
it.
bit worried.
It worried me a tiny bit. It worried me a tiny bit. But there's this brand called Dermatica, and you send them photographs of your skin, and they send you every month a little file of what, and they adjust it throughout the year. So I think it's very good, and I've restarted that program. And then I use a balm. I use Skin Design Balm or pre-blow dry Vaseline. And of
It's
course, we
great.
haven't mentioned, what were we meant to mention?
Sun cream.
Sunblock.
That shows how bad we are.
No,
about
but
sunblock.
my sunblock is an Australian brand called Sunday Fridays, or is it Friday Sundays?
Because you are an Aussie, Serena.
I am an Aussie, and this is apparently the top-selling skincare sun range in Australia. And they've got tinted ones, they've got plain ones, and I use
But they
those.
say that if you use tretinoin,
You've got to use it every day.
you have to use it every other day, because otherwise you'll look like you've had a chemical peel.
Well, I use it every day.
Well, you're hardcore. I can't use it every day,
I
but
can.
you have to use SPF 50 on top of doing
Yeah,
that.
and even in the winter.
Even in the winter.
Even
so
in
tretinoin,
England.
for people though who don't understand it, because I wouldn't, is a stronger version of retinol.
Mm.
So retinol, you don't need a prescription for. Tretinoin, you do.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in tretinoin.
I think, one of my New Year's resolutions, and I haven't started, is that I just do my chin, my jaw up.
I know.
And I don't think about my neck. And I do think that is something, sounds really vain
Yeah, well, we're
saying
getting
it.
on to next later.
Next, we will get on to later. But
The
if you
neck-
have any
the neck
excess,
episode is coming.
Any excess skin, skin cream, just put it on your neck. I never do it.
Hand cream
even,
as
even
well.
just like Vaseline put on your neck.
So what scent do you wear every day?
That's quite a boring question.
What is the question?
I wear Portrait of a Lady, but I don't wear scent very much. I only wear it if I'm going out for
Really?
dinner, which I never do.
I love scent.
We're different people.
Are we? Yeah, we definitely are. What am I talking about? I wear, there's a bee, your sister, gave me, it's called La Tulipe by Redo.
I love Redo.
Absolutely love it. And I love, what's that place in Italy we go to with Rachel? The shop in
Santa
France?
Maria Novella.
Santa Maria Novella.
Tom and you both love that.
Yeah, I love that. And it's the pomegranate, pomelo or something.
Yeah.
That would be my second. And Chanel number
The
5
oldest
tonight.
pharmacy in the world.
Yeah, I love. So they're my
I'm not
3.
not a scent person. One thing to remember is not that I know anything about skincare, but put as much on as possible. And
I don't think they say that.
I
They say pea-sized amount of tretinoin.
no,
otherwise your face will
tretinoin,
fall
yes,
off.
but I think that in the day you want your moisture locked, and that's why I don't look like it right now because I'm wearing makeup. I don't really ever wear makeup on
No,
a
you
daily
don't.
basis.
But that's also because at my age, I'd be unrecognizable.
Can I ask
I
a
do.
question?
I put mascara on and then that's it because I think it's as much as you can. Just have nothing on and just keep it, layer on layer on layer. Just
Tom, yes, you
Can I ask a question?
Maybe.
Do all? I realise men won't know this, but do all women understand all the words you're like tretinoin? Do people know stuff?
You'll
like
have to put it in the show notes.
that? No, but
They
do people really
it's
know?
a really big thing.
It's a big thing.
And I
It's a
just
huge
hope.
thing.
I will say
Retinol,
this. I just hope it's
tretinoin.
not a fad.
Tretinoin is not a fad.
The
Doctors
reason
have
I
been
think maybe it's not a
prescribing
fad is I'm going to be honest. If anyone watches this, my hands are a lot older looking than my face.
Do you know
that is
your
true.
right hand?
It's worse because of driving. You
Yep.
cover this every day.
Well, I haven't told the
So-
listeners that.
Yeah, maybe
in
we're-
Australia, people drive in gloves.
Yeah, but I just think it's proof that my hands are
They
older
do.
than my face, meaning that maybe all this stuff does work.
You can have a hand lift.
I don't want to hand it.
People do that sort of thing.
So now let's talk gadgets because I'm pro gadget.
Well, the thing about you,
We're not going to talk about vibrators
is
on
that
this
you
episode.
Oh.
I'm
But
not
that
being
would
on
be
that episode.
that would be new. Mother-daughter talks.
No.
The vibrator
No,
episode.
count me out of that one. But listen, on the gadget thing, hats off to you, Alice, because you constantly use them. You'll be on the phone. I mean, did we talk about this in another episode? Well, tell us which gadgets you use first.
I use a FaceGym Pro, that device. It does look like a vibrator, I'm afraid. Maybe we'll find out the name of it somewhere. The FaceGym Pro, and it lifts and you put it on and it vibrates. And some people who don't use it,
It can hurt your teeth a bit.
Yep, if you have loose fillings. Do that just in the morning with a really good face mask because it's a great way. We actually haven't talked about face masks. Sorry, I use face masks probably 3 times a week.
I don't have any.
I think a really deep, rich face mask is great, like pre-shoots or
Oh, I do have one.
dinners. I think that
Do you ever do
Beta do a great face mask.
Do you do one under your current body face mask?
Yeah, that's a different story. So I do it like basically I use a tightening device with a face mask about 3 times a week. And I do use an LED light mask.
I know you. And can I just, sorry to interrupt you. Oh, did I say it last time about the face mask?
No.
Where she uses it in the most extraordinary way. We can be on a flight in the middle of the night and Alice will put on the face mask. We have been in the takeoff position with only 2 wheels, or how many wheels there are on a plane, but a few of the wheels just on the runway. And as it takes off, Alice plugs in the dark, her red light face mask. The stewardess then comes running down the aisle because people think that the plane's going to blow up.
Yeah.
It is not a great thing to do for the
you're painting
passengers,
me as
Alice.
someone who's just vain. Firstly, I use a current body face mask.
So do
that's
I.
What people
Not
wanna
just
know.
vain, but also crazy.
I have this awful, one of my worst traits, and I have many.
Let's
My
write this
husband
down.
loved
Anyone
it.
got a pen?
Off, is I kind of have to do 2 things at once.
Yeah, you
because
do.
otherwise I feel like I'm wasting my time.
I know.
And so I feel that in a dead space is a plane. Like a plane with no Wi-Fi is like mire of hell.
Think about the person sitting next to you.
That is even harder for them. But
Yes.
why not then do
Nightmare.
something with your time? So if this LED light works, which who knows if it does, but they say it does, well, why not kind of be on the plane and do something productive? It's a bit like in the shower, I drink water. Like do 2 things at once. Better yourself.
It
at all
explains a great deal.
moments.
Yeah, you had a face when we flew back last night from Frankfurt. You were wearing a face mask on the actual mask.
And when we're in bed,
Well, you were eating a
when we're in-
panini.
I wasn't eating. I haven't eaten. Eating a panini.
You
You
had that at
mad?
lunch, sorry. No, but I just mean, I think that's cool of you. I was like, I've just got to look after my skin.
It's like being married to Hannibal Lecter
It is. That's
I
what
do
you
like
are.
on a permanent basis.
I also believe, I will say one thing, it says use it for 10 minutes. I'm really sorry, current body, if
Yep.
it's correct, but I use it for half an hour. So I don't know if that's right.
I think it's wrong.
Okay, well,
So until your face melts, you're not doing it right.
Yeah. Well,
I think it is great for people, if you don't know what they do, I think it's really good for tightening, it's really good for brightening. When I have long tour days in America, when I'm on five planes in 6 days, it just keeps your face tight.
have you ever driven yourself with it on?
I
know
think-
you've been driven.
No, I think that's illegal. And
Yeah,
I would
think
not
it
do
should.
that.
I just
I
double
would
checking.
not.
I've seen you as a passenger
All the
with your
time.
Hannibal Lecter mask
All
as
the
we
time.
drive past, and poor other, road users look absolutely horrified as you go
I
past.
just really hope this stuff works, because otherwise
Well, it
it's a
does.
real
Something you're
waste of
doing works.
time.
I mean, I have one of those lovely current body masks.
You don't use it
I
because
do
you
use
are
it.
erratic.
I am erratic, and I have one of those things like you have by Zip. It's called a Zip Halo, which I also believe works. But I mean, I don't know.
You want to look into the only thing I'll say is with these things, because we're probably boring you all if you're still
Because they've
listening.
gone, Mum,
You
bye."
want to look into the frequency of the
Yeah.
skin tightening.
Yeah.
And you want to look into how many bulbs there are in your LED mask.
Yes,
that's
and there is
the
a
way-
magic number.
And I don't have a neck one, but maybe now I'm turning 40, I might start doing
They do a head one
doing neck.
for your hair.
I know we should do.
I
Has
know.
a whole other conversation.
Yeah, big conversation. I know.
But what? Just last question on this. What do you think about? I mean, obviously, guys, don't you worry. We're going to go into Botox and the real juicy bit in a minute. But what do you think about health from within?
Well, you couldn't talk about that because you don't eat healthily. I believe. I mean, we do take those AI.
What do you mean by that,
AG.
Serena?
Well, her diet is salami.
I would say that we are 2 people who don't exercise and don't eat healthily. In
I
general.
do eat healthily.
Mum, let's not lie.
I do, Alice.
Mum, that's
Alice.
a big lie.
It's not Alice. It's
what
not.
healthy thing do you ever?
Well, I
eat?
haven't eaten healthy.
Potatoes? She eats loads
my
of potatoes.
Potatoes.
No, I do.
She loves a
That's not
potato.
so. I
Potatoes
eat.
with butter.
I love butter.
You eat lots of cheese from just cheese on its own.
But
you eat
Alice,
lots
no,
of
I'm
sandwiches.
sorry. I do eat healthily.
Mum, you don't eat a
I eat
spirulina
salads.
infused salad. You don't.
I have one of those poke bowls.
One. When did you last have a poke
When Daisy
bowl?
Cave ordered it
Anyway,
for
so
me.
we don't
She's
eat
had
healthily,
one
is the
once.
answer.
No,
I like those shots. That makes me feel like I'm doing something.
I eat
Have
healthy. I'm
turmeric
sorry.
shot.
Anyway, let's move on.
I think a turmeric shot is great quickly, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that I've started eating these vitamins, and they are edible, and they're by goodies.
Edible.
They're edibles. No, I don't actually take mushrooms or drugs, I'm afraid to say. I'd love to pretend I was a bit more fun,
yes.
but we don't. We
Will you
could do
explain
one of
about
these
your-
episodes taking mushrooms, though.
No, I'm not doing that.
Will you explain about your pipe cleaner that you drink in the morning?
Well, that is good. So one other thing about me, this is quite a narcissistic conversation, is I very rarely get a cold. I've never really had I'm not sniffly, and I believe one of the reasons is I squeeze a whole lemon because I don't drink coffee. So I need something that's really going to get me going.
You could clean your drains with this.
I squeeze a whole lemon, then I put like 2 good glugs of apple cider vinegar, and then I put about a quarter of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper with about half a cup of boiling water. And even my Russian stepmother was like, Jesus, this is hardcore.
It's hardcore.
But I believe it does keep colds away.
It puts hairs on your chest.
And it speeds up your metabolism, which I think is apparently good for you.
I'll try that.
Now, if you're still listening, Mum, you've had many meltdowns this week.
Well.
It's that time.
Okay.
What was your meltdown of the week?
Well.
You can only choose one.
Okay, so my meltdown of the week was self-inflicted. First I went to Frankfurt.
We're not allowing too much time for this.
Okay, I went to Frankfurt with you, which is obviously something that was going to be a lot of fun. And
Why?
Because I was going to be with Alice for an intense amount of time, Tom. Like, we left on Saturday and we got back.
Why were you going to Frankfurt, Mum?
Because we work for a company called Mrs. Alice. I work for a company called Mrs. Alice. You run it. And we went to speak to a lot of our, what are they called?
Suppliers.
She's a professional.
Jesus. We actually have quite a successful company. Listening to this podcast, you would not know it at all.
No, but I am quite tired, because we didn't get back till 10:30 last night. I did drive back from Heathrow.
But Mum, you took a Xanax, you're fine.
While driving?
Not before I drove. No, it didn't seem to work, that Xanax. You gave me such a tiny bit, and then there were crumbs left on the bedside table, which I picked up with my finger.
I just need to give you your own Xanax tub.
No, I'm not having. I don't like those Xanax things. Anyway, so I thought to myself before I went, what am I going to wear? And then the shoes became a big thing. I know the whole company were bored to death with which shoes I'd get. So I bought some new trainers. Now, I know this is, most people aren't watching or even listening to this, but I bought these trainers, which I thought would be okay. One moment. I'm thinking of framing them because I'm never wearing them again. I mean, Adidas, I love you.
They look cool.
They are cool. They're not so cool for 30K.
30 kilometres.
Yeah, these were the wrong shoes.
But they have no base, Mum. I have no.
But I hate those big ones. Anyway, I'm going to do some research for next year, and I don't want any photographs taken when I'm in Frankfurt, but I will buy some proper shoes. So that was my low.
I think you need some ons.
I will get some ons.
And my low, similarly, was just having to travel with you for 4 days when you complained about those shoes.
I didn't complain. I tried so hard not to complain.
You complained.
I did not.
At every supply we went to, if there was a sip, she just fell in the seat, and then they'd give her more chocolate and more coffee.
Even if I wasn't interested in the product, I was like, why are we going to sit in it? If I saw it was a really nice stand, very zhuzhy chocolate, would you like it? And I would just sit there, chat to someone for 10 minutes.
Traveling with you is interesting. I will say that. I will say that was my meltdown, was being with you for that long, complaining. And
I didn't complain about the hotel.
Any moment of the week?
Yes.
What was that?
We went to that schnitzel restaurant.
Oh, that was good.
Unbelievable. Literally, I think it's now my last meal.
We inhaled it. And we had it with spätzle. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a kind of German potato dumpling.
It's something
and it had
like
cheese all over it.
That could be explained why my feet
just an
are
example
barely
of how
fitting in these
healthily
shoes.
you eat, Mum. Just another
No,
example.
because that was a special day. And then they had that green sauce.
We had Schwetzle at our wedding.
We did. With the venison.
It wasn't your wedding, Mum.
Well, I felt like it was.
If only.
Now, I think to try and keep people listening, we should talk about the real truth of beauty. I think we should be honest here, and I can open this conversation with honesty of saying, without a doubt, if we're talking about beauty, if there's one thing you can really do that dramatically alters the way you look, is Botox. Like, without a doubt. And I think that I actually had a local friend who I won't name, but she'd be honest about it, who just tried in her mid-30s to not do it. And she went for facial after facial, and they said, you're going to do this.
It's the only way to go.
You're going to do this. And you spend so much money.
Can I ask you when you started?
I started at 30.
I started at 40.
Well, you're amazing.
Well, no,
You have better skin.
Yes, obviously.
You have darker eyes.
But I started at 40 because,
You also were having a lot of children, Mum. Those days
What year was I 40?
You were basically pregnant for a long time.
Sorry to ask, but was it even invented back in when
Well,
Serena,
that's the whole
like
point.
in the 50s?
Yes, actually, it's been around a very long time. I was born in 1960.
She was
Sorry.
40 and... Anyway, we're not here for maths. But
Anyway.
you started at
lucky.
40. I started at 30. And I think that it's just being honest about the fact I do it. I did it. I have a really good guy called Raj Grover who does mine. He wouldn't actually want to be name checked, but I think it's about...
He wouldn't see me.
Yeah, I think it's about doing it to prevent as well. So the idea of starting when you're 30 is just that the lines haven't come.
Yeah.
So you're not filling lines in.
But I will be interested. I'll be dead, obviously, but I will be interested in how it goes for you because
She said this to me the other day.
I
Wait
am
for this, guys. It's such a kind, supportive
No,
comment.
but I'm going to go and see Dr. Georgina Williams about my Botox because I've had issues with Botox, and I do think that if you've been having it for 25 years, Georgie Williams, watch out, be scared, incoming troublemaker. And actually, someone in the team, please, I will share with you a photograph of when I had Botox that did not go well. And
When your eye, are we allowed to say when your both eyebrows got
one
fixed
eyebrow
up?
One eyebrow.
eyebrow.
You
was
look
up,
permanently. It's like surprised. And every
half
question we said to you
surprised.
was like, "Oh, Serena, what do you think?"
Half
and we're like, "Oh,
surprised.
she's surprised." But it's
It was
just
a
'cause
nightmare.
You look surprised all the time.
And
Mum, I'm hoping it's just you.
yes, I'm hoping
You think it's going to happen to me is what you're really
No,
kindly saying.
the one eyebrow. I think I'd be interested to know what happens when you have been having Botox for 25 years, and that's something we can take up because I think you do have to treat it slightly differently.
Well, I'm 10 years in. I will tell Sue one thing because I think it is good about, being honest, is I actually also have it in my jawline.
I've never had that.
And I have it in my neck just to apparently try and prevent.
Someone said it was too late for me.
Yeah, well, that's mean.
It was a doctor.
Might have a point. But I think that basically...
It was a mean doctor.
I think Botox
What do they know,
is-
Serena? What do they know?
What do they know?
What do they know?
They're professionals. Watch the podcast. Listen to some real professionals. Yeah, sure.
But I do think
Hi, Mum.
if that's one thing you're going to do, hands down, that is it. You can be clever with filler when to
Scares the living daylights out of me.
But people use it less, I think. And I think that what a lot of people are doing instead of my age are doing kind of very hardcore lasers. And I had my first one the other day with Dr. Georgie. That's why I have a tiny bruise, if anyone thinks I've been doing anything else.
Yeah, that is the lasers. I mean, I would consider a laser, but there's something called a CO2.
Yeah, which is stronger.
That I think makes you look like you put a frying pan on your face.
Yeah, so I had a profractional laser.
Is that like half as strong?
And that's half as strong.
I see.
So it doesn't damage like the skin deeper. It's just kind of on
And
the surface.
you do that micro? I've never done that.
I don't do microneedling, but we're going to talk about treatments in a minute.
Okay, what are we talking about now then?
So you're pro Botox. What are you
Hugely.
feeling about? You're not into filler.
No, I'm scared of filler.
Okay, well let's just go straight into the old facelift word.
Oh, that word. Yeah. Now that's a good word. Now, I'm going to ask you.
I know what she's going to ask me.
I won't ask you if you've had one, but would you have one?
I have not had a facelift.
I know that's so
39
silly
years
of me to
old.
say
I think
that.
she can answer
No,
that
but
question.
would you have a facelift?
I
Answer honestly.
think I would,
At what age?
but I'm just being honest. In theory I would, but then I see pictures of people who've had it done
It's
straight
scary.
after, and it is scary.
They say 46 is like optimal time.
Yeah, 49 I heard. So yes, I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't say no, and I think it's much better to
I would definitely
that.
say no.
But that's because I've seen people with them, and it does look good. But again, we're not painting ourselves in a serious or
But would you look like someone else?
Ideally.
no. I don't think you do. But I think I don't know. I actually don't know much about faces, but I think
No.
that the key is if you do it younger, you've got less to take off, and so therefore it looks more natural. I think.
Yeah,
But you could. What about just a neck lift for you?
I would.
Not that I think you need one.
I would. And then when I go and see Dr. Georgie Williams, block out some time, I would consider a neck lift. Now I say that having had my 2 recent shoulder surgeries, it has made me a little bit, more more aware of doing something like that. But I would never have a facelift, and only because I think that you know why? If it was going to go wrong, it would go wrong with me.
Yeah,
And then you know it would.
But also,
You know it would.
Having recovered with you for the last 2 shoulder operations, I
would.
think another child could look after you.
Yeah.
You could have one at 75.
I'd be
Could have
dead
one
by then.
together. That would be great. Let's have a facelift together.
I suppose if I was
you could have a
79, it
second
wouldn't
one.
really matter if it didn't work.
No,
that
you'd be
well.
75 because you're 65 now.
Serena,
Again,
do you feel
maths.
you're accident prone?
She doesn't do anything to be accident prone. I mean, how could you have an
I
accident?
just if something's going to go wrong, It's going to go wrong with me. But
So what's your wish list of procedures?
in a dream world, I'd have a tummy tuck if I didn't have any of the, in any of the sort of after, all that whole thing.
I thought you'd had a tummy tuck.
Listen, I'd ask my money back if I'd had a tummy tuck.
I thought when you had a child, you had something else done at the same time.
No.
Okay.
Alice,
child.
that's
But I have
inappropriate.
had-
That's something different.
You have had your eyes done.
Yes.
And let's talk about that.
Okay, so I will say tretinoin, bingo, upper and lower. I can never say it. Blep, blep,
nor
something
can I.
or other.
Blep.
Blep, blep. People get in the know, they say upper and lower blep. I went to Mr. Nick Koutramanos. I interviewed many other doctors and I rate him very, very highly. And in the show notes, I'm sure someone will put in a before and after, and it is remarkable.
But the key is you had your lower done at the same time.
I had my lowered. I wasn't going to,
The
and
lower
then Nick
is the
said,
thing that makes a big difference.
it does.
And you need to have bags to have the lower, just so you know.
Yeah, and it really, I mean, the recovery, I mean, I've lots of people have messaged me about it. I shared the journey, was very open about it. It wasn't a big deal.
And you do look great from it. There is a myth about the upper, though, is that it is not a brow lift. So a lot of my friends go like, I'm going to have an upper and it's going to pull that. Pulling that is a brow lift, which is a completely different thing. So, I mean, I would be tempted one day to do that. But I think that the upper is just literally taking the skin away.
Yeah, I do. I think that also, I mean, I had it done when I was 63. I know a lot of people have done it earlier. And I think sometimes you might have to have it done twice. Yeah. But that's no bad thing.
So wish list would be an
especially if you spend more time seeing Mr. Nick. Yeah, that's always fun.
That's Mum. Do you want to say that in public?
So sadly, I'd have to be 85 when I went to have
Okay, so we actually went, sorry, Tom.
No, are you saying she's in love with this
No,
man?
but he's just lovely. He's so lovely. I mean, I go and see him just for the heck of it.
Does every woman fall in love with their cosmetic surgeon?
No, not me.
No. I don't know. I don't have one.
We haven't. We actually went straight into procedures and Botox. We went into like the hardcore stuff. But are there any facials that you...
You gave me that Profhilo. I've had that once.
We haven't talked about Profhilo.
I don't know. Does that work?
So there's polynucleotides and Profhilo.
I've had that too. I've had both of them once. So once again, not constant.
She's
done
so
it once.
Erratic.
You have it all the time.
I have Profhilo with my Botox at the same time. And that's basically injecting a layer of hyaluronic into the first, I believe, dermal layer of skin.
I'm not a fan of that Morpheus 8 that people talk about.
Beth, my sweet makeup artist... She did notice when I started Profhilo, I think.
Morpheus 8?
Yeah.
That's another
Profhilo.
thing. So, but polynucleotides is salmon. Let's stay on what we're talking about. That's salmon sperm.
It's probably not.
Well, it is. It's
you
derived...
inject salmon sperm into your face?
Yeah, it's derived from salmon sperm. I've kind of been a bit erratic on that, I would say, because also what bloody works?
I know.
Is it
that's the problem with you, Alice, is what works. You look so fabulous. What works?
Sweet, but I do think those injectables they're not invasive. Polynucleotides and
Well,
Profhilo.
it depends how deep you go into the dermis, and that's where I slightly struggle with Morpheus 8 because that is meant to be hardcore.
That is horrible.
Deep.
I've done that and it was too much.
Yeah, they say it is.
I actually got impetigo from doing it. No, seriously, it was awful. Do you remember the scars?
Yeah, it was a
so
nightmare.
open.
We were all on set.
Yeah,
If you'll forgive me for saying, when you say it's not invasive to have inject salmon sperm into your face, it seems a tiny bit invasive.
Walk in the park.
But best facialist, I would say, like Fatma from Skin Design.
You've given me that for my birthday.
Unbeatable. And I think I think there's a lot of quick fixes you can do with tightening and brightening and lifting and a little bit of microneedling. I do quite a lot of radio frequency for tightening.
What's that? I mean,
I don't actually know. It's when they heat the skin. But that's
does Fatma do that?
Yeah, Fatma does it.
But you've given me a facial. Fatma, if you're watching, I'm coming.
Yeah, that was quite a long time ago.
September.
I think hair is there, but I would say the idea of like having a facial and kind of rubbing aromatherapy oils is just a waste of time.
A lot of people would disagree.
I would just say, if it hurts, it works.
I don't think that. I think no.
You want to look out looking almost like a burns victim, and then
Alice,
you've got your money's
This
worth.
is not such a good.
So that's your catchphrase,
It
Alice,
is
from
a
now
good thing
on.
to say. It's true.
It's your catchphrase
No,
from now
it's
on. If
no
it hurts,
pain.
it works.
Yeah, no pain, no
There we go.
gain. I'm not sure about that, Alice. There are people who do that face yoga who look fabulous.
Yeah, well, listen, it's each to their own, but I think you can spend a lot of money without actually doing anything very changing that you couldn't just, sometimes I'm like, yep, I can cleanse my skin. Yep, I can put moisturizer on my own skin. I don't want to hear a dingle dangle. I just want to.
No, I don't like birthing whales in rooms.
No, I hate that.
No,
Hate that.
How does that come into it?
Because it's like when you go into a sort of spa and they can have all that hocus pocus. I don't like that.
Yeah, we don't do it.
Well, no,
anyway.
I just want
We
in.
went once to a spa. That
was a
didn't go that very
nightmare.
well.
They wouldn't give us room service.
They wouldn't give us food.
I won't mention the name because
Yeah, we
we
won't.
wouldn't. I would go back.
Yeah, you would go back. Give that. I actually very sweetly people offer to give me spa time and all those like clinics, but I don't have any time.
I think, Serena, if you want to sort of get a free room at a place, you need to be quite polite and sort of complimentary.
Yeah,
about it.
I won't mention
You
what
Rather
would need
than
a,
just
you would need a
insult
film crew. Should we go to question o'clock?
Yeah, let's do questions.
It's question o'clock.
Yeah,
It's question
perfect.
o'clock. We had
Who's gonna
so
ask them?
many questions.
Oh, good.
Well, for the first time, we've also got the names, which is good.
Oh, good.
So the first question is from Jeannie.
Jeannie, that's a nice
Favourite-
name.
Favorite facial treatment?
Favorite as in most fun, as long as it doesn't have that whale birth noise.
Just favourite, Mum. Just answer.
What's yours? Botox? I'll answer.
That's not a facial treatment, Mum.
Oh, true.
I would say a mix of microneedling and radiofrequency. What's yours?
know why I just thought of something. Favorite? No.
What did
favorite-
you think of?
No, I'm not going to say it.
Say it.
I don't have it, so I'm not going to say it.
Mum, say
No.
it. Say it.
No.
Say
No.
it.
No.
Okay, well, she can't answer that question.
Okay.
This one's from Beth. One treatment for the rest of your life.
then. Botox.
Botox.
Okay, I said it. Okay, same.
I just got
Also-
an email about my knives are ready to be collected from our knife sharpening store in Battersea. I don't go to a knife sharpening store in Battersea.
Sounds like you both do already. Okay, from Katie. Do you have a great eye cream?
No, I don't use eye creams.
I think the La Prairie eye cream is really good. The blue one.
I really should.
I have a problem with eye creams, and I will admit that. I hate them going into my eyes
Yeah.
in the day. But I think that you've just got to do it.
Actually, I
Apparently
find
put
that
it
with
lower down.
sunblock. I've got to
Me
be
too.
so careful with sunblock going in my
But
eyes.
then my new trick is I double up at night, and I've started
With
putting-
sunblock?
No, you used to sleep in sunblock.
There was a doctor I went to, and I can't remember who
Sorry
it
to
was.
say, does that not seem a bit of a waste?
No, there was a doctor I went.
Oh, that doctor.
Which doctor? Oh no.
But I've actually started putting Vaseline on my eyelids
Yes,
at night.
Vaseline.
Because who puts cream on their eyelids? We all should.
Yeah, and it's
So
very
I now
good for your eyelash.
Like at night, I have so much cream on my eyes.
Can't
but
open them.
I can't open them. But it's lucky because I'm meant to be asleep. But that
No,
doesn't
but
happen
they're
that much,
very
does it?
good for eyelash growth too, I think. Vaseline is
Great.
hugely underrated. Probably get some hate mail about this, but I'm a real believer in Vaseline.
Yeah. Tell me, one question I'd like to ask you is: do you do anything from your neck down?
Well,
Wow.
no, not really.
Not really. You do like a bit of moisturizer.
Yeah, which body moisturizer do you like?
I don't have any.
Do you know what I like?
Nivea.
Nivea.
I thought you were going to say that.
And OneSkin. OneSkin gave me some, but I'm saving it. I don't know why it looks.
I just feel the body is like no time.
I know. What
Do you know what I mean?
Take
It's
me
just
much
like-
longer than you.
Yeah, keep.
got more to put on.
You know, just keep yourself covered. Like
We don't keep that. What are you talking about?
We cut completely covered. What can you see? Your ankles
I know they've blown up since that spec.
since that 1 hour flight. I mean, I'd like to see you after a 10-hour flight. You wouldn't be able to walk off the plane. Okay, Mum. What about one product for the rest of your life?
It would probably be the Bada Rich Cream.
I like Skin Design's Face Tight. think
I
that's
love
a
their
really good
balm.
one.
I love
Yeah.
their balm.
From Keely, any tips for keeping lips hydrated?
No.
Yeah. I've got terrible lips in this respect because my lips always flake. I think I'm allergic to lipstick, so I don't wear it unless I'm on a shoot. So a way that my sweet friend Beth told me to do it is brush your lips after you've brushed your teeth,
Oh, that's like an exfoliation.
like exfoliate them
With a toothbrush?
with a toothbrush.
Is that normal?
Well, I do it, so probably not. Then after you've brushed them loads, put on
What?
a lot of eye cream.
But you don't use it. Well, I
do
do.
use
Oh,
eye
you
cream
do
at
use
night,
it.
but eye cream
Oh.
on your lips, Mum.
I know.
So put,
Yeah, I've done that actually.
Put eye cream on your lips and then put your normal lip balm on. And do that the night before, and that helps.
There's a very well-known brand.
I love that Laneige.
Do they do like a lip mask?
Also like the By Terry one.
Yeah,
They do
yes, the By Terry is
They
very
also,
good.
the Laneige do like a plump one that we found at Sephora, and that did work.
Back on treatments.
Yeah.
I am thinking of trying my lips one more time.
Maybe for viewers, before we do this, we should look at her lips last time.
I was absolutely
They
terrified.
were as big as your face.
Would it be wrong to do a future episode live from a cosmetic surgery, from,
Heaven.
No,
from
I'd be
the
on for
theatre
it.
itself?
I'd be on for it.
From
Just
surgery?
take me in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
In
I think
fact,
you should
I think
just
we
try it tomorrow because then we can talk about it in a couple of weeks.
No.
We'll give us something to talk
No.
about.
They'll come into the room before I do. No, well, I'm just going to think about it.
From Jane, what's the best way to keep your nails looking good?
Manicurist.
Yeah, I'm afraid but
Mine are desperate.
But get Biab, guys. Get
I don't
Biab.
know about that Biab.
Well, look at your nails. Look at mine.
Do you know how long I've had these on for? I haven't had time. Mine are very good.
Biab is really good because it lasts
Why?
longer. So you're not always changing it.
Here's
my
a
nails are
question.
much
I'm going to
longer.
ask you a question. When you have your Biab removed, do they use a drill?
No,
What do they use?
don't know, but it's really healthy
A
and safe.
drill?
I bet they do use a drill. A file, electric file.
Any good day or night serum recommendations, please? From Venetia.
Weirdly, FaceGym do a very good
they?
night resurfacing treatment.
But do you use
and I
that?
love it. It's really good for brightening.
You see, I don't.
I'm gonna have to put it in the show notes because I don't know the name of it. It's
good
called
word,
like
that.
Instant Lift or something.
But you see, when you use the tretinoin, I just don't think you
No, I
use
don't.
anything but that.
yeah, exactly. But
I never
we're
use
talking
a
about
night
the
serum.
non-tretinoin.
A day? What about day?
I think Darfan makes a great serum.
Doesn't
funny enough.
MZ Skin make a nice one?
Yeah, their calming serum's very good.
It's like gold.
Yeah. So Tom, why don't you give us
She
the last
won't answer.
question? Ask your wife and mother-in-law a beauty question. Come on, try and conjure one up.
I literally have no idea what you're talking about. The last 40 minutes, I've loved it, but I've been mystified.
Do we
The
almost sound
words-
quite scientific?
So
I doubt
scientific.
it.
Almost
I
like
doubt it.
doctors. We would like to thank you for listening, if you still have.
Bye, Mum.
Bye, Mum. Bye, Pama. Hope you're still alive. We're going to have so many followers because in Frankfurt, all Mum did was tell our suppliers about our podcast.
or her podcast.
Or her. She says, I've got a podcast.
I didn't say that. I said we had a podcast.
But next week, we're actually talking about fertility.
Yes. I mean, I think that ship has sailed for me.
I just have
I
one
think-
question for you. Would you have a baby for me?
No.
Okay,
That's
well,
next week.
that is the kind of questions next week. So please join, please listen, and have a lovely week.
Bye.